welcome back. It's Mike McCalco, and in this section I want to talk about a few famous Keith Moon fills. These are obviously from Who songs, and I want to first of all talk about the song I Can See for Miles. Now, for those of you who know the song, there's a lot of snare drum in this tune. Very cool song. But one of the fills that I really liked that stood out was him playing 16th notes with a single stroke roll, and he seemed to like to play the bass drum on 8th notes a lot to really add that bottom end pulse, strong driving pulse. So what's going to happen in number 1 is you're going to play 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So lots of accents. 1 and a 2, the and of 2, and then you're accenting all of 3E and a 4E and a. So here it is without the bass drums, nice and slow. So all we need to do to that is now add the bass drum to the 8th notes. So for some people that have a hard time doing this, I would suggest going bass drum nice and slow with 8th notes, and then start playing 16ths, and then add the accents. That's going to be the easiest way to get this happening sooner than later. Something like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, add the 16ths. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a. Then we'll add the accents. I would like to now demonstrate this for you guys at 60 beats per minute. Here we go. The next fill I want to talk about is one of Keith's cool fills in Who Are You? I like this one because it's got a cool phrasing to it. And what happens in this one is there's a 2-note pattern that happens a few times. And the 2-note pattern is snare, small tom. Okay? Now that actually happens 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's the placement that's weird. It's like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and. Okay, so if you're having a hard time counting it, just think dot, 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 dot. The last half of that fill is playing 2 mid-toms and 2 floor toms, which seemed to be something Keith really liked to do. 4E and 4E and. So here's the whole thing without the bass drums. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and. So when we add the bass drum to the 8th notes, it makes it a little weird, but it fills up the holes. Okay, so I'm going to try this nice and slow with the 8th notes being played on the bass drum. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. So let me demonstrate this for you at 60 beats per minute. Check it out. Every now and then, Keith would find himself using 16th note triplets in his fills. Here's a great example, also from Who Are You, of a 16th note triplet fill that he used. Now this one's actually pretty simple, okay, because the count, if you remember, one triplet and triplet, groups of sixes, right? What's going to happen is you're going to crash on the one and then play the remaining 16th triplets on the snare, one triplet and triplet. Okay, now that's actually the same thing that happens on beat 3, so we've already got count 3 covered. One triplet and triplet. Add a bass drum to the crash, of course. Okay, now the second count, you're doing the same thing. You're crashing on the 2, and you're going 2 triplet and triplet. So we're going to play the last 2 16th note triplets on the small tom. So there's actually going to be 3 on the snare and 2 up here. The first one's being played with the crash cymbal. So it's still 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the exact same thing that happens on count 4 as well. So we've got the whole thing. So if you remember, the first part is just 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet. So here's the first half. First half is the same as the second half, so just repeat yourself and you got it. I'll do it a little faster for you, okay? So now let me demonstrate it for you nice and slow at 60 beats per minute. Here we go. This next fill is super cool. I love this about Keith Moon because it was just this real cool random thing that became a super musical fill. And it's a single stroke roll going around the kit. And what's happening here, we've got a little bit of ghost notes. If you guys aren't comfortable with ghost notes yet, don't panic too much. Keep your volumes all the same. It's still going to sound super cool. So what's going to happen is you're going to go snare, snare, small, snare, 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 small, small. Okay? So snare, snare, small, snare, 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 small, small, which is 1 E and 2 E and Okay, now that's the first half. Now the second half, you're going to play snare, small, 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 so it's 3 E and and then Keith's old friend, 2 mid toms, 2 floor toms. So it might seem like a little bit to think about here, but let's just do this real slow for you guys, okay? Okay, now I haven't even added any bass drums or any ghost notes yet, so you might want to just practice that section just to get that comfortable, okay? Here it is with the ghost notes. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So now let me demonstrate this for you at 60 beats per minute. Have fun with this one. Well, I hope you enjoyed these lessons. I sure had a lot of fun teaching them to you. It's been great digging back into Keith Moon's music and his playing style. I know I definitely want to do it some more. I'd highly suggest go back and listen to any Who stuff that Keith Moon played on, because after he left, there was Kenny Jones, and of course Simon Phillips ended up taking the chair for that for so long. But just really listen to Keith Moon and understand his style and what made him so unique. And we'll see you again sometime. Take care, everybody. Happy drumming.